Hey, how's it going? This is Shawn Rosler, host, creator of the Coarse Grind Podcast, and I've got 100 episodes, and you don't. Well, maybe some of you do. Whatever.
Hey, we got a caller on line one. Hey, caller, you there? So what's up, man? Chillin'? Chillin'? Why? Yeah? What you want to hear? Wu-Tang again?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go, yeah. Listen, the sound of the horn says it's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coarse Grind Podcast 100th episode pre-show. How's everyone doing in here? Save some of that energy as he makes his way to the stage, the comedic stylings of Smooth Matty James.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, this is a really weird room. There's like all these levels and platforms and stuff. This is nice though. I can't, Shawn, I can't coyote ugly on the bar? You sure I can't coyote ugly on the bar? No. All right. Everybody hype tonight? Come on, everybody hype tonight. You hype? You hype? You hype? I'm hype. I'm like hyperventilating. That's actually a lot farther than I thought it would be. And I'm really, really out of shape. And I work at GNC, so I have no excuse. Actually, I use the being out of shape thing as a sales tool. See, what I do is I offer straw man arguments. I recommend things that have a lower commission value for me, and then everybody gets the other ones, which have more money for me. That's smarter. Oh, hi. This is great. I love this venue. Like, hey, Can I have a big round of applause for Mr. Shawn Rosler, who's he's like perched over there like a creeper. And you know what? Why don't you give yourself a big round of applause? Do it! Yeah! That's easy. That's like a fish in a barrel right there. Just once. I want to go to a town where I'm like, give yourself a round of applause, and they're just like, yeah, I ain't special. But Shawn's a great guy. Shawn's the reason I'm here. He's the reason I assume everyone's here. Or the $3 vodka cranberries, those are nice too. I met Shawn about a month ago, and he came to my apartment late one night. He brought some beer, and we met on a social media app. Yeah, no, not Grindr, okay? I'm from Connecticut, okay? So when I first heard Grindr as an app, I just thought it was a really cool way to get sandwiches delivered. Now when he came over, he did not bring a foot long. He brought 6 inches of the most delicious succulent meat I have ever seen. It was prosciutto. You pervert. But he told me, yeah, what? Oh yeah, he like butter. But hey, we sat, we talked, we worked on a project of mine, and go, please, by all means. And he told me about what he was working on, the Coarse Grind Podcast, right? And it's a podcast dedicated to high cuisine, and I said, high cuisine, that's hot. And then he said, it's pronounced oat. I said, actually, it's pronounced get out of my house, you pretend dick. And but I'm still here. Because, hey, Shawn, he's at the table he set the table, and, I'm now on the menu. I'm right here at the beginning, stroking my own ego. So I'm kind of like a appetizer, It's kind of like an amuse-bouche delivered by an amusing douche. Yeah, fluffernutter, yeah. Man, this guy, give him the mic, right? But, I don't like to be an opener. Ladies, I feel like I'm actually kind of like getting dessert first. Because when I think of myself like a good chocolate mousse, I don't look the best. I'm a little fattier than some people would prefer. But ladies, give me the chance. I'll go straight to your thighs. That's right. Drink me in. But please, drink responsibly. Or don't. I want to make sure the bartenders make money. Just, there's, but Shawn, he is such a great guy. And I decided to be here because he's doing something really great with his podcast. And he said, Matt, you got energy, you got spunk, you got pizzazz, you got panache. I need you on that stage on the 24th. Now, I'm not going to be on the stage because you guys are all the way back there and it would just seem weird. But, I decided to come. And, Shawn, he exudes this confidence, this confidence that I wish I had sometimes. And he told me that Anthony Bourdain recently passed, and he said, Matt, I want you there. And, like I said, I'm really, this is a culture shock for me, I'll be honest. I'm used to working on a stage. One second, that vodka cranberry just hit me real hard. That's what she said, absolutely. So, Shawn and I have a lot in common. We're fathers, Any other parents here? Are those kids still here? I'm stalling to make sure those kids are gone. Great. Now, I have no, you're fine, apparently. I have a beautiful 12-year-old daughter. Her name is Annalise. My mom for years thought her name was Annalise. And, she used to ask me all the time, Matt, how is Annalise doing? How is Annalise? I'm like, as a hemorrhoid cream, Mom, it is second to none. My daughter's name is Annalise, you daffy cunt. She's like, I've been calling her Annalise this whole time. I've been calling her Annalise. You've been doing ad copy for hemorrhoid cream, and I think they owe you money. Yeah, back of the line. She's great, though. I worry sometimes using obscenity in front of children, but children, they're really just little people. And I made a rule with her. I said, look, Annalise, you can swear here at the house. It's a controlled environment. Don't swear out of the house. Swear here as much as you want, but don't just willy-nilly toss one-syllable swear words. I'm like, paint a picture, paint a tapestry with obscenity. And I always hoped it would happen. And then one day, I pissed her off somehow, probably ate her Lunchables after smoking one too many blunts, and I just saw the rage building inside her. And she just looked at me and she said, you. I was like, come on, let me have it. You shit-stained bag of dicks and farts. And it hit me, and I just dropped to a knee, and I said, you are my daughter. I don't need the paternity test now. You're mine. And I give it back to her sometimes. One time she asked me just very sincerely, Dad, was I an accident? I said, I don't ever want to hear you use that word again. You were a mistake. Oh, come on. I got it worse. My dad told me I was an accident all the time. And I said, but Dad, I'm adopted. How could I be an accident? He goes, yeah, we wanted a son. And my mom, I give my mom crap too, but she's helped me out a lot. I mean, one time when I was about 16 years old, I was in my room and I started having a stroke. And my mom walked in. And thank God she did. Because, the lotion was all the way on the other side of the room and I didn't want to get up. But she's Catholic, so I got to play it off. So what did I do? I had to pretend I was possessed by demons. It's the only way. It's the only way. I was like, Mom, the boy's soul. The blood will run red over the virgins. Mom, help me. Oh, my God. He's going to get me. Bring pizza bagels. Yeah, Mom, the ones with the sausage, not the pepperoni ones. I think he's serious. But I don't talk to her anymore because, imaginary friend club just never worked out for me. But, there's good things about religion, too. Like, I watch a lot of horror movies. And sometimes in horror movies, there are those creepy ghost children. Now, I'm prepared. Okay, I'm prepared if I see any creepy ghost children, okay? Because if any one of them ever walks toward me, priest collar, and they get into the ether. Now, what's going on over there? This guy, I'm going to play to this guy right here. He gives me something back. Now, you might notice I'm a little bit twitchy, right? I'm a little bit frenetic, right? There might be a reason that. Now, when Shawn came over to my house, he noticed that too, and he said, I need you on stage, Matt. And he goes, I can't pay you. I'm probably not going to buy you drinks. But I'm sure there is something that you want to plug. And as he bent over to pick up his notes, I saw what I wanted to plug. Oh, yeah. And that is my podcast, ADHD Bags. It's the regularly scheduled, steaming golden stream of consciousness. Like, subscribe, share, now. Do it now. Yeah, you. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, anyway, look at this guy. I'm sorry. But, he did. And, play your cards right, you might not need him. Those kids are definitely gone, right? Oh man, this is a crazy venue. I'm still adjusting the fact that there's multiple levels that I could be jumping off of right now. That's an actual jumping off point right there. And I might, depending how the set goes, I might seek higher ground. Is going to be joining us on stage very shortly, right? Now, in all seriousness, we've had a little bit of fun here tonight, right? But what Shawn is doing here tonight is a very, very decent thing. Nobody should go to bed hungry in America. Not if they can help it. And, I feel like I get distracted very easily, but a lot of these people do too. Now, I don't know. I might have a little bit something loose in here, right? How do I put this straight? I am a Caucasian male who relies on brain medication. So that makes me a cracker on Ritz. It's, you can call, my name's Matty, but you can call me Matthew if you know what I amphetamine. Now, when Shawn came, he asked me to sit here and talk to you guys, get you guys hyped. Gentlemen, he wanted me to whet your appetite. Ladies, if I can help it, I'd like to whet just a little bit more. Don't you dare objectify me. Because objects have value, And I don't like to put myself on a pedestal. I want to know one last thing before I go tonight. Are you guys ready for a night of just insane conversations about food? Are you ready for questions and answers? Are you ready for Shawn Rosler? Yeah, I'm ready too. Are you ready for the 100th episode of the Coarse Grind Podcast? Yeah! This is awkward because actually there's 15 more minutes before that's going to happen and we're going to play a playlist. I know, right? I was disappointed too. But ladies and gentlemen, my name is Smooth Matty James. I have been your opening act tonight, and you guys have been awesome. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Study Bar in scenic Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Are you ready for some podcasty goodness? I said, are you ready? Get hyped! Who are you going to bring out?
Well, I was thinking that I would bring out someone who's very special and close to you. A strong woman behind a strong man. And she would have to be a strong woman to be with you. Now, I'm going to bring out the incredible, vivacious, culinary, stone cold killer, Greta Rosler! Give it up! Give it up, you bastards!
Who's fast and thorough and sharp as a tack. She's playing with her jewelry. She's putting up her hair.
Thank you. That was really nice. So what should I say? I'm just kidding. I know. What? What did he say? Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. It's so nice that you're all here to support Shawn and the Coarse Grind Podcast and all of his work and hundreds of hours over the past several years to do this work and get people talking about food and what it means to them and to each other. And about a month or so ago, he told me... What? Oh, you can't hear me? Is that better? Okay, sorry. A month or so ago, Shawn told me that I would be required to say something. For those of you that know me, you might imagine that would not be a problem. Although I certainly did not know what I would say that could parallel the work he's done to talk to 100 chefs now and people who love food. So I thought it was worth mentioning the story of food that brought he and I together in this very town. You may know that neither he nor I are from Bloomsburg, but almost 20 years ago, we would walk from my sorority house on Light Street Justin Hummel might think that we spent all our time in here as Harry's, but actually we did go to local eating establishments, and one of them was called Peking. And when I first met Shawn, he said, we're going to walk down there. And so in the frigid cold, we walked to West Main Street to the Chinese restaurant called Peking. And I had gone by it many times and never thought anything of it. And we went in there, and very quickly, I realized he liked to eat as much as I did, and we were about to get married. No, I'm just kidding. He very quickly demonstrated what was so special about sharing a meal with someone. And in that restaurant, if you had ever been there, if you're local, it was a small, dimly lit place. You might not have been attracted to go in it. There wasn't a lot of traffic going in or out of there, but there was a man and a woman who clearly had a Chinese background and were cooking and serving this food and would literally sit back against the wall, facing each other, waiting to cook for you. And they would come over and serve you in such a hospitable way that you felt like you were part of their family. And in those moments, I realized that Shawn loved the story of food. And since that time, he's carried that story into our kitchen with our family, to many others through the podcast. And we've shared meals with many of you in here that you may have prepared for us and that we've shared with you, Gary and Michael, some other people who've been here tonight. So this story of food has been a part of Shawn and I's whole life. And though I may not tell it in as audacious of a fashion as he does, it's surely been present for both of us. We're so excited you all could be here. There's nothing more I can say anything nearly as politically incorrect as he might. But with that being said, I'd like to bring Shawn Rosler up to the front. I think he's coming. Maybe he's eating. I don't really know what he's doing.
I'm not eating. Yeah. Thank you. Nope, I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? I didn't hear you in the back. I didn't hear you in the front. I didn't hear you in the middle. What's up? How is everyone going? Bring it down. Bring it down. What's going on, crowd? Yep. How's everyone doing? I appreciate beers bought for me. I just figured I'd put that out there. So 100 episodes. Holy shit. And look at all you beautiful fucking people out there. And what's even better is here we are back in the venue where it historically predates anything I was doing with this, with food, and now it's the Study Bar. So Justin, wherever you are, man, kudos to you. This joint is amazing. Thank you. We'll try to behave. Emphasis on try. Real quick, I want to run down a quick list of thank yous to everybody. Starting with the Study Bar Justin Hummel, Central Sports and Graphics, Lee Millard for the amazing artwork, Ian Dashel in the camera shop, Mr. G's Coffee Company, wherever you may or may not be in the place, 17815 Staples, and James, my producer who could not join us this evening, the Reverend Johnny Leland Robinson, and those who I have forgotten to thank, get over it, shut up. We're done. So yeah, thanks. And let me start with a question. It's a logical one. It's a good one. How many of you have listened to a podcast before? Round of applause. All right, cool. And how about this podcast? No, bullshit. You waited, you're like, oh, he's waiting for it. Oh, I'll clap. It'll make him feel good. I appreciate the sympathy, believe me. Greta, you can attest to that. So the 50th episode, that was a bad sex joke, thank you. So the 50th episode, it was a live show. We benefited the food cupboard and the local food scene. And tonight we're going to do the same thing, except tonight I brought some reinforcements with me to get this rolling out here. We're going to raise community awareness, we're going to battle hunger, and we're going to bring awareness to a pretty amazing food scene, if I may say so myself. You know, I think it's really easy in a small town like Bloomsburg to kind of poo-poo it away and say, oh, well, we're only in Bloomsburg. That's bullshit. I challenge you to drive 10 miles in every direction and open your eyes. Pho Viet down the street is opening tomorrow. They didn't pay me for that. Get your asses down there. Support your local food. Anyway, causation aside, my apologies. You know, we're just going to have a good time tonight. Everyone down with that? Everyone down with drinking some beers and, like, talking food a little bit? All right. Let's quit fucking around. Let's get to business. Our first co-host this evening is no stranger to events like these. Except they're typically A, far more visible, B, far more professional, and C, likely far more well-produced. With that said, he's a really nice guy, so he always says yes to me when I ask. All those things hold true because if you know this handsome, well-dressed persona, it's likely from other shows like Wendy Williams, Kathy Lee and Hoda, or from HGTV credits far too numerous to even count. Bottom line, he's all over the place, and yet, because he's from a little hometown of Honesdale, and is one of the kindest human beings you could ever have the chance to meet, he's here tonight with us. Please help me welcome him out, Mr. Brian Balthazar! Come on, it's open. Grab a seat. Do you want left or right? We have mics. They're just wired. I make the guests use wired mics. I'm fancy.
Hey, everybody. You always have. I like to have one that. This is Diet Coke and this is margarita. I like to have one like to temper the whole. Keeps me in check. He's lying. It's actually Jack and Coke. And right, exactly. He's gonna punch somebody later. So hey, $100 in the donation jar. You can get punched by Ronnie Balthazar. Fantastic. That's right. So talk to me about what you've been doing since the last time count. The last time you were on the show, it was you and Lauren. Yes. And Lauren is doing the Brady Bunch. Yeah, so I do a Facebook Live with a colleague named Lauren Roosh, and we at HGTV bought the Brady Bunch house, which obviously isn't where we shot where they shot the show. So they renovated the whole house to look like the original Brady Bunch house. I don't feel like there was enough of a pop there. They bought the fucking Brady Bunch house. Let's go. Yeah. Oh my God. There's a story of Amelia and Ryan and a host who's bombing poorly. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. And it's amazing. So I've gotten to meet the cast of the Brady Bunch. I had dinner with Maureen McCormick, which is amazing. And you try not to freak out because you're like, I've heard her voice through my whole childhood. So when someone's talking to you about their day, you're trying to like separate the fact that this is this amazing human being. But I also remember her screaming, "Oh my nose," as a kid. You know, like. Oh, so she was Marsha, right? What? What? She was Marsha? Am I the only one that's outraged that he had to ask who was who at the Brady Bunch? All right. Yes. All right. So you know your food. I know my pop culture. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Anywho, all right. Thank you so much for being here, man. I'm gonna bring up. Thank you for having me. Co-host
Our next co-host is something of a culinary legend. She's also a prime example of how you get to know someone because of completely random-ass coincidence. Where's Natalie? Hi, Natalie. If You're read Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. Anybody read that? Anybody remember a certain grill bitch of legend in that book? There should be more applause. If you haven't read it, get out. No, I'm kidding. Stay, please. She and I have gotten to know each other for a long time. She'd worked with Tony Bourdain for 20 plus years in varying degrees, and she was kind enough to bring not only herself, but her family here at Bloomsburg tonight. So from Lost, though, you know, Tony passed, and from Lost came a friendship, a guest chef spot, which, Beth, if you ever call me a chef again, I remember Michael saying, you told me he was a chef. That was a bad move. So, with all that being said, she is here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only grill bitch, Beth Aretsky. All right. You got a mic? Is it working?
Yeah, it's
Squeeze
working.
down. We're going to move down.
If you want to use this one, you can. Now, we're going to be two to a bench.
Do I have-
I'm going to come over here because I'm antisocial.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Slide down. Hi. Hello.
Good, how are you?
What? Who's what?
Hello.
Stop yelling.
Can we point out that there's a beautiful Chesterfield sofa here that's just waiting for somebody to sit their ass on it?
There
It's
is a beautiful Chesterfield. So, you know,
Pick.
when you
Should we pick someone
when
to
you
sit
started
on it?
saying
Oh, there,
that-
hello. There you go.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
when you started to say that beautiful chest, I'm like,
Okay.
Where chest?
where's Greta? Where's Greta? So, chef.
Hey, Shawn.
This isn't fair. Brian's staying up at Turkey Hill, but Beth and Michael and Sid came to the house. So it's like we've been hanging around for a little bit. It's like, hey, saw you an hour ago.
Sup?
Cool.
Sup?
Yes, up. So what have you been up to? Tell me, there's something new coming for you.
Something new. I am consulting an opening of a restaurant in Rhinebeck. It's called Bia. It's a
What's
what?
it called? What?
Bia.
Sound guy.
In
Can we
Rhinebeck,
get
New
a
York. Rhinebeck,
boost?
New York, not to be confused with Rhinebeck, Pennsylvania. So,
There you
yes,
go.
Rhinebeck, New York. Hello.
There you
Much
go.
better. Yeah, so Rhinebeck, New York. And I'm consulting the opening of this restaurant, which I'll be starting next Wednesday. That's
There you
new for
go.
Me.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Chef Beth
Yeah.
Aretsky. So,
Still in it to win it.
yeah. So that, and
I have a question for Chef Beth, though. I have a
Yeah.
question. So when you consult on a restaurant, I'm sure your parents ask you this too. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is it? What do you tell them?
What
What
are you
kind of dishes to
consulting for?
make? Do you tell them how to do their menu? What
No,
do you do? Like,
no,
or how
actually,
to make
this
it
is
look?
like a co-consulting. The chef is a friend of mine, and
Right.
he's a chef owner, so he's been looking for people to hire in this kitchen, and no one's biting.
Right.
So good help is hard to find, and he was asked myself and my partner Michael if
Right.
we knew anybody who could work for him, and I kept saying no, I don't know anybody. I'm sorry, I can't help you. And finally, after like 3 months of not being able to find any help, I said, I'll help you.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just said, okay, I'll give you a hand, and that's what I'm going to be
That's
doing.
fantastic.
Next
And in
month.
a beautiful part of the
Oh, it's
part
beautiful.
of the state.
Yeah, the Hudson Valley is gorgeous.
Sorry, I just
Right.
grabbed the mic
Hi,
and went
honey,
with it.
I'm
Did you?
sorry.
No, that's fine.
I think
That's
Where
that.
did it go? We're good.
Should we move over to
I
the
actually popped off stage. I'm like
we move
double
to the
quitting
big
as a
sofa?
sound guy too. I think we're okay now. Yeah.
Shawn, you're so far away from us.
I don't know.
Hi, Sydney.
Awesome. So there you go. That's what happens when you work sound in line when you're doing a show. Happens.
Yeah, so that's new for me.
It's for charity. Don't cry, complain, whatnot. So thank you to the both of you because you're far more well established in your respective fields than I could ever hope to be.
Stop it.
No.
Seriously.
I'm not going to have it. If there was a show for overweight fathers of three boys, I would destroy the both of you. I want you to understand that.
I don't think
But
so.
until that happens, thank you for the sympathy laugh, whoever that was in the back. Awesome. Much appreciated. So let's talk for a second just about why we're here tonight. So part of the reason we're here is obviously the podcast. And if some of you have been sympathetic, i.e. charitable enough to listen, I appreciate that. With that said, there's another facet to this. Every single dollar of the door tonight is going to the Bloomsburg food cupboard, okay? Nobody in the community, in wherever, I don't care what your red states believe, they should not be hungry. End of story. And so we're here tonight to help stave that off. When I drive by the Bloomsburg Food Cupboard, to those of you who are kind enough to drive in from like wherever the hell you came from, which some of you need to get a fucking hobby, because I'm not driving 200 miles to listen to a fucking show from somebody. Who did? Yeah, but you're special.
I drove.
All right, halfway. He drove halfway. Don't be mean. And
Exactly.
Sydney supervised. There you go.
Yeah.
So, but for those of you not from the area, let me give you a quick breakdown of what the Bloomsburg Food Cupboard is. And I apologize if anyone from there is here tonight, because I've dropped about 5 more F-bombs than I did on 50, and I know you're Catholic, so apologies. I'll cross myself and St. Mary, Hail Mother later, or something. So this is a building whose sole purpose is to stock food, to allow people 1 day a week, I believe it's 1 day still, to line up outside their doors and fill a bag, a box, I'm not sure what the unit is. And if you drive by there on that day, it should make everybody borderline ill, because the line wraps around the building not once but twice. And this is a small community. So what I want you to do, if you do nothing else tonight, $5 at the door, and I appreciate it more than you know. If you do nothing else, I want you to transpose your community onto that and think about what you can do. Because you've done it here tonight, and you can do it when you go home. So thank you for starting the ball rolling here. Where and how? How do you do it? Put some money right up in this pot. You see where my lazy foot is pointing? It's right there. If any of you are interested in contributing beyond the $5 you paid at the door, there is a pot. It's a soup pot, guys. Get it? It's right up here on the stage. Please come up, and when you do, you know what? Say something. Ask us a question. I'm all about free form, so please feel free. I'm all game for that. So, with that said, I think I've probably talked enough. You guys want to bring out the first guest?
Yeah.
All right. What?
Who's our mystery guest?
Who's doing the Steve Austin with me?
Bring out.
Alan, you ready? Hey, by the way, Alan Combs just released a CD last night. He's here with us tonight. He's going to play our guests on. So he's a killer, and he's a picker, a sinner, and a grinner, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for being here tonight, buddy. Looking forward to hearing from you. He's going to play everybody on. He's going to play some songs between guests. But without further ado, let's bring that first guest out. Ladies and gentlemen, is Steve Kurian from Wild for Salmon in the building? If so, please report to the stage. That might be the most appropriate play out all night. Nice to see you, man. The dais. I have a dais. I'm like official. Holy shit. Steve, good to finally meet you in person. I know we talked in the 40s episode-wise, and yeah, it was. Here, I'll tell you what. I do have a wired mic. There we go.
Wow, thank you.
There you go. Is that better? Can everybody hear me? Hey, all right. So, yeah, it was a little bit about scrapple, a little bit about salmon, which is weird because you don't make salmon scrapple, do you?
Never.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
All right, that's fair.
I have a question, though. Is salmon scrapple, can you turn that into a salmon burger?
Salmon what?
Scrapple. Salmon scrapple.
Salmon scrapple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could figure it out.
There we go.
Can we get a show of, can we get an audience response to Scrapple, though? Like, who here eats Scrapple?
Who eats Scrapple?
All right.
Who eats
and
that?
And now, who here is a little intimidated by Scrapple? Like 3 people are intimidated by Scrapple. This is a hot button. This is like a hot topic.
They're angry.
Is a salmon scrapple something you could even do?
Next on Inside Edition, angry Pennsylvanians and their scrapple. Relax.
I mean, it's just the nature of the name has the word scrap in it. It's just like, don't throw that away. Put that in that thing over there and eat it. Like
It's honestly, it's the same concept as an oyster. Who cracked that open and was like, hey, that looks like snot. Let me sip it.
I know. It looks like a phlegm ball in his shell.
Scrapple is like, hey, this is on the butcher floor. We should put it together with various seasonings and flour and make it a cake.
Right on.
Stop it back there. We get it. You like it.
The people
Calm
have
down.
spoken.
All right. So anyway, Steve, thank you again for coming out. I really appreciate it. I know recently, first of all, for those of you in the audience who don't know Steve, don't know Wild for Salmon, can you give the Cliff Notes version of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Steve Kurian, and I operate with my wife. Can I read that? All right, how about now?
There you go.
All right. I'm Steve Kurian, and my wife Jen and I operate Wild for Salmon on Route 11 in Bloomsburg. We've been commercial fishing in Alaska.
You
got it? Yay! All right.
This is why we call it live. It's never boring. Steve, you were saying.
No, this is normal boat life, so it's okay. So we've been commercial fishing in Alaska for the last 17 years and started bringing salmon back that we filleted on a beach in Naknek, Alaska to just feed our family, and it turned out to be, we started feeding the community with a local seafood store.
Wow. And I mean, you've been here in the area for how long now?
We started in 2004, so this is our 15th anniversary.
And it really has shown no signs of stopping.
Nope, we're just going on hard forward.
So if you are in the area and you're interested in anything salmon related, this is your guy. This is him. Encode his face in your mind. If you see him in the store, tackle him. Not really, I'm sorry. But, make sure Wild for Salmon is where you go for this. Now, talk to me about the recent cause that came out. There was a petition of some kind?
So yeah, in Bristol Bay, they're proposing one of the biggest open pit earth mineral deposit mining operations. So it would be an open pit that's 2.5 miles wide by 700 feet tall. And right now it's in a comment period for the Army Corps of Engineers. And so if anybody hasn't commented, you can go to savebristolbay.org, and we'd appreciate it if you commented. And let them know that we don't need any mines in Bristol Bay, where we have the most robust wild salmon run in the world still left.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a cause to get behind and you're interested in food, you're here tonight, you've got interest in food, get behind this guy. I don't necessarily know as many of the specifics as I'm sure I should, but just the fact that you're putting it out there tells me it's important to sustainability, to fishing, and to all of that. So I really want to thank you. Make sure you're signing that. So what can people here get at Wild for Salmon? If they come out, they come to your store, what do they get there?
Well, if you come to our store, you can get the beautiful crimson red wild sockeye that we catch in Bristol Bay, but you can also get any of the other wild Alaskan species that we source from other like-minded fishermen. And we 100% guarantee we've got the best quality. We source it direct. If we don't catch it, we source it direct from the fishermen. And we've got a growing following and have just had tremendous success over the last 15 years.
It's incredible. And, one thing, how many of you in here tonight are fish eaters? I know some people, it's kind of like gang signs. It's like you're either a blooder or a crip. I eat fish. I think they smell. Let me tell you something. And this is true for as much as I know. There's a reason why they have fish oil and other things like that. There's great health benefits to eating fish, specifically salmon, correct?
Yeah, the omega-3s, the essential fatty acids, proteins are just, superfood. Salmon is a superfood.
Steve, just can I ask you a question? Because I'm one of those people, I love to eat it out. Oh.
What do you like to eat out, Brian? Come again? Whoa!
I love to eat fish when I'm out at a restaurant, but I am intimidated by eating fish by cooking it at home. So what is your recommended way to someone who doesn't cook a lot of fish at home to make the perfect salmon? What would you tell them to do?
Well, first I would ask them if they like to fry it in a fry pan or cook it in the oven. And then I would just recommend olive oil, salt, and pepper, and under a medium heat.
Simple
for
and clean.
8 to 10 minutes. Medium rare, especially if you get it at our store, because it's sashimi grade. Cool. So most of the problems that come with cooking wild seafood is overcooking the fish.
Is that what's your pet peeve when you see...
I love you.
You see these people cooking on the internet, you see people cooking on TV. What's your pet peeve when you see other people cooking salmon?
My pet peeve would be that everybody tells you to overcook it because of the quality. So the whole reason that we have these cook it to 145 for 1 minute is because you're getting poor quality fish. If you've got good quality fish, you can eat it raw before you cook it, or you can cook it medium rare and then really enjoy the quality and the taste.
Now, when we say poor quality, we're not talking like worms, are we? We're just talking in general.
What is poor quality salmon?
Yeah.
Well, to answer the worm question, I mean, all cold water fish have parasites. So the freezing process takes care of those worms, the parasites, or like when you look back at the Japanese history where they're drinking sake to kill the worms when they're eating parasites. So you can either kill it by the drinks you're eating, or you can freeze it for 7 days and you'll be in good shape.
Okay, so you could freeze fish for 7 days, or you could get hammered in the same event. Like, I know what I'm picking. You?
Yeah, you can get it online. We right now, Wild for Salmon, we serve from here to Colorado on 2-day shipping, free over $150.
Wildforsalmon.com, right?
Yeah, Roger.
Wildforsalmon.com. Cool. All right. Well, Steve, again, man. Oh, yeah, question.
So one of the things we asked about how to put together a decent salmon, one of the things I like about the store is they have all the individual packages. So with my family, they're so varied and everything like. I bought one of this, one of this, one of this. Definitely talk about that aspect of it.
Yes, that's a good point. So one of the things that we focus on is the portion size and just being one piece in a pack, so that way people can eat one serving, get enough protein for their subsistence for the week, and not have to break the bank. And everybody thinks that seafood is so expensive, and good wild seafood is very expensive. But if you look at the portion size and you break it down, like a lot of mornings I'll eat a piece of sockeye with 2 eggs over easy, and you got like $6-7 for a breakfast. You go into the Unimart, and most people come out of the Unimart spending more than $6-7 for their breakfast.
Yeah, there you go. We got a question in the front. Shoot.
Fish and visitors, they say you fat after 3 days, what do you have to say about that?
Fish and visitors stink after 3 days.
It's
Keep
true.
it frozen.
What'd you say?
Freeze it. Steve just basically said either freeze them for 7 days or get them hammered and they'll be fine. There you go. I think that's sound advice.
Steve, how much salmon do you eat, like really? Because you're surrounded by salmon. That could be the title of your book, by the way, Surrounded by Salmon.
Surrounded by Salmon. That's like a reality show.
You can have that. But how much salmon do you really eat? Because you must be like, I need a break from salmon, no?
I would think that I eat salmon 3 to 5 times a week on an off week.
Have you had to convert anyone close to you that didn't like salmon? Did you just be like, keep eating it until you love it? Like, is there anyone close to you that doesn't like salmon where you have to like beat it over the head with them?
No, absolutely not. I think anybody that gets good seafood and we prepare it for them right, they fall in love with it. And we watch our kids who are 3 and 6, they fight over the skin. They don't want the meat,
Nice.
they want the skin.
Nice, yes.
Oh my God! Me as a kid, I was fighting over the Funyuns. I wasn't fighting over the skin.
That's it.
I
It's a
was
Funyun.
like, give me the
Salmon
Doritos.
skin is like Funyuns. There you go.
You have a healthier family than mine was.
Yeah, exactly. Brain food, right?
Right.
That's it. That's it. All right. Well, man, hey, I want to thank you so much, Steve Kurian from Wild for Salmon, for coming out. If you want to check out his stuff, wildforsalmon.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Kurian.
Thank you very much, Shawn.
literally the most NPR like walk on, walk off we're gonna get all night. Like there's nothing's gonna fucking top. Well, wait a minute, Mike Jones is here, so we might be able to do some more plucking like that. Ah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Where are we at? What's going on, guys?
I can't read this print. I'm like 90 years old. I need my trifocals. So
I actually want to have you guys pronounce his last name.
I don't know. I have the vision of Orville Redenbacher.
Yeah, go ahead and try. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is from Turkey Hill Brewing Company. I'm not going to read his name because I know how to read it. I'm going to let the two from out of the area introduce him.
I would like to call Donny Abraczinskas, please.
All right. No, let Brian. It's okay. It's okay, man.
Donny, is that you?
Yeah.
Donny.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Turkey Hill Brewing, Donny Abraczinskas. How we doing, sir? Have a seat. What is going on over here? Oh, they're pronouncing last names. It's Abraczinskas, by the way. It again.
Say, Donny, will you say it for us, just so you know, because...
Abraczinskas.
Is that common spelling?
Oh, actually, here we go. Abraczinskas. Abraczinskas. See, we've all learned.
Audience.
We're better people now.
I think the worst one was Abraczinskas. that was probably the worst.
Oh, shit.
No, nothing can compare to my last name. They used to call me Ball Shaver instead of Balthazar, so that's terrible.
Well, what did I do? The first time we talked, I called you Balthazar. Like,
I go by Balthazar now because I'm so scarred by my childhood.
So, is Balthazar or Ball?
I grew up Balthazar, and in high school it was Ball Shaver, Ball Chaser, Ball Grabber, Ball... Are there any more? You can think of them. But then I got a job in television. They're like, Balthazar is easier to pronounce.
I'm
like,
Balthazar.
I'm in. Sign me up. I'm good. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
So now I go by Balthazar.
Problem solved. So now that we're talking last names, Mr. Donny Abraczinskas, it is nice to finally meet you. You are the one exception to my rule tonight in that I've had everybody here tonight except for you on the show, which we need to remedy very quickly. Tell everybody about who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, when you guys brought up about Scrapple, my assistant and I were actually figuring how can we make a Scrapple beer.
What? Say it again?
A Scrapple beer. We were actually talking about it, but we'll never do it.
When is the Scrapple podcast happening?
Scrapple.
Just to put it out there, we need a Scrapple podcast. Episode 100 of the Scrapple podcast. We will be here.
No. We're recording this? No. That's a big no. Abort.
I mean, how much can you say about Scrapple? Let's find out.
It's a gray block.
Well, anyway, Shawn, I bear gifts today. Do you enjoy barrel-aged beers?
Do I enjoy barrel-aged beers? Here's what you could do. You could take barrel-aged out of the sentence. And I enjoy beers. So, of course. Okay. And especially yours. I have to admit, this is a bit of a fanboy moment. Because I've never gotten to meet Donny. Oh, look at this nonsense.
Well, that is our Revelation Pale Ale. And it's about a 3-year-old beer that was put in a French wine barrel with about 3 different Brettanomyces, which is wild yeast. Has a little bit of apple to it, tart, very dry, kind of grassy, barnyardy. I think we did a really good job with this.
Nice.
But Mother Nature did that.
Well, that's the Brettanomyces lambicus. Lambicus?
Lactobacillus is a bacteria.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Brettanomyces is a wild yeast.
It's like science class, kids. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question about that? Because I have a question. So did you always have a refined palate? Because when I'm at a restaurant, they're like, you can really taste the grassy undertones. Like, I'm like, I don't know, I can't. But can you always pick up on those things?
Mr. Jim Hahn, that's my taster right there.
Jim
Hahn?
He is fantastic.
Because I'm usually like 3 drinks in by the time they tell me what I should be tasting. So, but can you pick up on the subtle?
I can pick up some stuff, but he's really refined.
Yeah.
If there's a question I have, I usually go to him. And also, my wife has a great palate also.
And do you have to taste every batch for consistency? Because I once met the woman who ran Jack Daniel's single barrel division, and they really have to taste it all the time.
Yes.
How often are you tasting your beer?
Well, we usually, after about 6 months in the barrel, we start tasting monthly. It seems like most of the beers, the window was about 16 to 18 months.
Okay.
And that's just, we've been doing it for about 7 years now, and it seems like 16 to 18 months is that period where...
Can you tell when something doesn't taste the same as the last batch? Because when I have a Diet Coke at a restaurant, I'm like, this doesn't taste right.
No, it hardly ever does. I really don't want that either.
Yeah.
But anyway, being from the area, our family's been in a Christmas tree business for about 110 years.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if you're local, you know how to pronounce that name because of 2 words, Tree Farms, right?
My grandparents owned a Christmas tree farm, too.
I worked there for about 40-plus years, and I retired about 4 years ago. But I picked up brewing about 25 years ago. Well, actually 35 years ago. I was over in England at a wedding and really got into cask beers. And at the end, I was really sad, and a couple people noticed that, said, what's the matter? And I said, we don't have beer over in the States like that. I said, we just don't have cask beer, especially in the 80s. So I grabbed the book, came home, studied, and I brewed in my basement for 25 years. And one time I was at a party, I had my beer there, and Andrew Pruden was attended that party, tasted it, called my wife up. He really didn't know me, and said, would I be interested in brewing at a brew pub? So it just... And we've been there for 8 years now. So
that's where it all started. Living up on Fowlersville, that's our go-to, man. That is our go-to. It's like, oh, hey, you want to go to the brewery. And I think what's been really awesome about Pennsylvania specifically is that we've gotten over this whole puritanical nonsense about we can't have beer in a grocery store, God forbid. We've got to separate our chicken legs from our porters.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And at the same time, I think brewing. Now, I've brewed. I can't even make eye contact when I tell you I brew. I'm like, I brew. I do. And I do have 1 or 2 that I'd like to bring you after. I'll bring them by, and you can be brutally honest. I appreciate it. The reason why I say that is that, I think brewing as a culture is kind of what cooking was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, Food Network started to spike up.
Right.
Everyone started to try to do their own shit at home. And now brewing, I think, is getting more accessible to the masses. Do you feel that's true? Do you feel that's diluting what you do?
No, because one of the things is, what really is my pet peeve, is people don't understand styles of beer, especially when you look on Untappd. And they may come out, taste one of our porters, and they don't know what I'm trying to do. Like our summer beer is a brown porter. It's a very light porter. It's not a robust porter, or it's not like a Russian Imperial Stout. And they'll say, well, it doesn't taste like a porter. Well, a brown porter is not supposed to taste like a robust porter.
Right.
So the more they understand, and the education is very, very important of different styles, because there's got to be 110 styles of beer now. And I mean, there's...
Yeah.
Wait, what's that?
You will tonight, lady.
I hope he breaks it out tonight.
Some people like their home brew taste soapy to me. Is that a common thing?
I want to try an answer to this.
It might be a cleaning problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you sanitize your bottles, you got to make sure you get all that shit out of there.
Right.
Because even if there's a trace, the bacteria latch onto it and propagate that throughout the bottle. Yeah. Yeah, you got to make sure. I mean, cleanliness in brewing is like next to God.
That's 90% of it. I mean, if you ever looked in our brewery, I mean, we're spotless. I'm still, I'm 64 years old. I'm still getting behind fermenters. Sometimes I get stuck back there, but I'm scrubbing, and it's very, very important.
Awesome. So tell us about what we can expect this summer from Turkey Hill Brewing. I know there's some stuff out in the parking lot, possibly out in the field with Moofy.
Right. Well, this summer, our summer beers are starting to show up. Our German Hefeweizen, which is called Token of Hoboken, and it just came on last week. We have our Grisette with orange peels and coriander. That'll be coming in probably the 1st of July. Our Helles will be out in about 3 weeks. What's really interesting is our Saison right now is I think it's really good, but I have 12 different variations of it, and I love using honey, I love using rye and oats, whatever we have, but I ran across a honey called Sal Palmetto from Florida, which the first time I tasted it, I said, that's in our Saison. So I'm going to brew it probably in July sometime, so kind of watch out for that. And then our barrel aging program, we have some really good beers coming on. There's a Bière de Garde we tasted the other day that should be on this fall. It is absolutely delicious. And there's one Grisette with Pinot Noir grapes that'll be ready this fall, and so we're really excited.
That's awesome. And I mean, honestly, if you're looking to the beer community and to figure out what's going on, this is the place to do it, honestly. And nothing but good things, nothing but big things. And it's always a pleasure and a treat. And I know, Brian, you're staying at Turkey Hill, right?
What'd you say?
You're staying at the inn, right? At
I
the
am
farmhouse?
staying at the inn at Turkey Hill, yeah.
And did you grab, or was that somebody else that was talking to you that grabbed a couple beers beforehand?
No, I didn't know.
Adele. Hello, it's me. No, her name's Adele, and I'm trying to
Hello,
segue.
it's me.
So, Adele, scream up here if you will. This is a high school friend I haven't seen since high school, and she drove fucking how many miles just to be here tonight. So, thank you, Adele.
Honesdale High School? Honesdale High School?
Hello from the stateside. There you go. So, talk to me. Tell the man you had him before you came down.
You're going to have to scream really loudly.
Stop being shy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adele. Nice to meet you. We're representing Sullivan County, New York. There's no food there, so we came here so we could have good food and beer. Thank you. I want to say we had the Three Little Pig sliders, and they were amazing. It was chorizo, pulled pork, and bacon on this delicious little bun.
Nice.
And actually, both of us had the red rye ale. And I was really into that.
Right.
It was great.
But the beers were good. The beers were solid.
It was fantastic. Yeah,
That's the man right there.
Exactly
That's it.
what
So,
I wanted on a day off.
look at that.
Cheers.
First hand. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, Donny, I want to thank you so much. And folks, if you're looking for a good night out, a family night out, and those two things don't often intertwine, but they do at the Brew Pub, I want to thank you so much for being up here tonight.
Thank you.
And, man, we'll see you around. Turkey Hill Brew Pub. Check it out. Thank you, Donny Abraczinskas. All right, we're going to get up and stretch our legs. The stylings of Alan Combs will entertain you for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll be right back.
How's it going, everybody? It's all about local stuff today. So how about some local music, too? sailboat, runaway train, automobile, you keep up just the same. Ain't a sailboat, runaway train, automobile, catch ya anyway. I'm sailing on the sea, riding down the track, running down the road. I know you're trying to entrap me. Bad times when I see you coming, I turn my back and walk away, saying doo 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 doo. Well, I tried so hard, so damn long, always realized that it was you and me home. Tried so hard, so damn long, woke up on the morning, baby, wrote this song. Now it seems to be the only way I feel free is when I'm singing, walking, begging, and soon, yeah. Bad times when I see you coming, I turn my back and walk away, saying doo 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 ah. When you feel your best like you ace of tens, don't even go walking to happiness. Feel your best like you ace of tens, don't even go walking to happiness. Now it seems to be the only way I feel free is when I'm singing and walking, picking this tune, yeah. Oh, bad times when I see you count. Oh, I turn my back and baby, while I walk away. Bad times when I see you count. Bad times when I see you count. Oh, I turn my back and walk away. You guys like George Michael? Anybody like George Michael? Yeah? All right. I figure maybe a little bit of George Michael's appropriate. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you, yeah. But I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. I know about all the games you play, cause I'm playing them too, yeah. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. Na 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 na. Baby, reconsider my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I wait for something more. Cause you gotta have faith. Oh, you gotta have faith. Oh, yes, you gotta have a faith, yeah. Oh, maybe then a faith, the faith. Oh, baby. I know you're asking me to stay. Say please, oh no, please don't go away. You say I'm giving you the blues here. Maybe you mean but every word you say can't help but think of yesterday. Another one that tied me down with the lovable rules. And before this river becomes an ocean, before I pick my heart up off the floor, na 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 na. Baby, reconsider my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I wait for something more, 'cause you gotta have faith. Oh, you gotta have faith. Just you gotta have a faith, yeah. Oh, maybe not a faith, faith, faith. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. Na 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 na. Baby, reconsider my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I wait for something more. Yeah. 'Cause you gotta have faith. Oh, you got faith. Yes, you got to have a faith, man. Oh, maybe not a faith, the faith, the faith. So, yesterday, my band AC Soul Medicine released our debut EP at Turkey Hill Brewery, in fact. We were at Turkey Hill last night. It was a really good time. We had a lot of fun, and you can stream our music on Spotify and all the Amazon and all that fun internet music stuff. But I'm going to play y'all a little cut off of that, maybe. Do I have enough time to play another song, Shawn? Mr. MC, do I have another song?
Alan Combs, quick question for you. If people want to hear more of you, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Amazon Music, Spotify, all that fun internet music stuff, or you can check out AlanCombs2music.com. I play about 5-6 times a week, every week, all over Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio, traveling around with this here guitar for a living.
This man is here killing it. Album release party last night. Here he is tonight, looking rosy-cheeked and wonderful. Like, I hate you young people. You piss me off sideways. Hi, Brian.
Young people.
Welcome back. Now you're double-fisting with the right shit. Oh, it's for Beth. It's for Beth, he says. I don't believe it. Hey, if anyone's got one of them beers, be great. I'll let my wife. Hey, Greta, where's my wife? World-class chef and my wife show up to get me a beer. In comes Donny fucking Abraczinskas. Never mind. Nothing. Nothing. Daddy has what he needs. Shh. Baby's sleeping. What? Oh, they're clean? Oh, I'm not opening that. Yeah. Yeah. That's for the cork bottle. All right. Hi. I need you more than you know. Rawr. Fucking right now. There's never a question mark. Are there kids here? No? All right, yeah. Sid the kid. Good. Try this on for size. There we go. So listen up. Listen up, you bar patrons, you adults. What do we say? Look to the children for the future. What should your future involve?
Buying shirts.
Buying shirts. That's right. She's absolutely right. They're in the back, you lazy patrons, you. Don't leave Sydney sad. Sydney, put a sad face on your face. She's going to cry. Don't make her do it. Go buy a shirt. Come on. They're awesome. You're not going to get them anywhere else. Like, literally, the two people that make these shirts are here tonight. Otherwise, you're done. Forget it. So
Just leave. If you don't, then you can leave. If you don't want to buy a shirt, then you can head out the door.
all right, so I'm going to step in here. Shh, quiet. Quiet, kid. Jesus Christ. You're wrecking the show. What? You want to go? You want to go?
You want to go?
You want to go?
You want to go?
I want to go.
I can go.
I'm going to sit down. All right. Thank you, dear. Ladies and gentlemen, Sid the Kid. Hang on. I'm adulting too hard, apparently. All right, what's up, people? What's going on since last we left? Hey, who wants to play a quick game? I need 3 people to the stage, quick as possible, who aren't related to any guests. Ready? Go. Babcock, Adele, and Peter. Oh, Beth, you got to speed up next time. All right, Beth, you're in. Fuck it. Here we go. All right. Make sure this one's live. All right. Here we go. I'm going to come down here and get comfortable. It's time for a game. Who wants to play a game? Winner of the game. Winner of the game gets a free Coarse Grind Podcast shirt, courtesy of CoarseGrindPodcast.com. Not really. I don't even know what it's courtesy of. Fuck it. All right. The name of the game is this. I'm going to sit here and make you all feel uncomfortable. The name of the game is... No, that's not it. It's called The Worst Meal I Ever Had. All right? Each one of you will present the worst meal you have ever had, and the 3 hosts together will debate who wins. If there is a tie, which it could only be a 3-way tie, the audience will decide the tiebreaker. All right, so starting with fellow podcaster Chris Babcock.
Dinner with Schmucks
Why are you
podcast.
patting my groin? Thank you. Oh.
My
Can what? No. No. No, it's got to be literal. Like, think about the worst meal you ever had. We will judge what is the worst. I know. Now they're going to try to fabricate it. Chris Babcock, go!
All right, my worst had to be...
Listen up.
When I went to McDonald's one day and got takeout and came home and they forgot to put the meat on the burger. So I just got
shit.
2 pieces of bread.
That's not good.
Lettuce, onions, and tomato.
That is not good. All right, okay. So you want a bun. All right, Adele.
All right.
Hello.
I have to say the worst meal I've had, especially locally where I live now, is at a place like when you walked in, it looked like a kitchen nightmare. Like I knew as soon as I went on the date, like this meal was going to be horrible. I wasn't ready for the half-cooked pasta or the giant chunks of sun-dried tomatoes or just the overall fact that...
You don't need to revisit our first date, Adele. Knock it off.
But the fake flowers and the faux Italian balcony decor kind of set it off. So
She does paint a very good
made
picture.
The food taste worse. But
You paint a good picture.
yeah,
I see
no, it was really bad, and I didn't finish it, and I felt terrible because the gentleman I was with at the time was being quite generous, but it was basically like, I can't eat
Did
this.
you go on a date with this guy again after this?
No.
Good girl.
Oh.
Nice.
It
Way to
wasn't
be.
his fault, actually. It wasn't him, it was me.
Oh, sure.
That's a classic
All right.
line.
Next up.
Did you just really hand me a microphone?
I didn't hand you a microphone. She did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, okay. Okay, so I could trash a local thing I happen, but I won't do that because I love Bloomsburg.
Bloomsburg!
I'm going to focus on a little scene that happened in Chicago, my native town, hometown, Chi-Town. Holla!
Go Cubs.
So this wasn't a horrible meal because I never really ate it, but it was actually physically dangerous. So I went into this local Thai place that was a walk-up, maybe had 2 tables, and we put our order in. It was like a business meal, and I sat down, and the chef ran out of the kitchen like this. And then all of us were like, I can't see. I can't. okay. So he had dropped the wrong pepper in the oil.
Oh.
And it exploded into the air, and it was like napalm.
Ah.
And the restaurant, footprint was maybe 20 by 18. So all 5 of us went, oh my God, I clearly am dying. So yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Hot pepper. Peter Sanders.
Well, I don't know if I could top hot peppers. Hot peppers, eyes crying, skin burning.
Half-cooked pasta, sun-dried
Hot-
tomatoes.
hot peppers.
McDonald's without meat.
Yes.
Go on.
Okay, so the worst meal I ever had, I must admit, Elisa, no comments.
Oh, shit. Elisa's his wife, so you might want to bar the doors.
I made the meal.
Oh! Self-admission.
Okay. So,
Yeah, we probably should at this point, but we'll humor him.
I lived with my grandma for several years, and she, depression baby, taught us that when you have the can of soup, you can put farina.
Oh, shit, I know this story already.
Farina,
I'm out, my vote doesn't
not
count.
cream of wheat, farina. Thicken it up.
Chicken or cream of celery? Cream of chicken or cream of celery? I need to know.
Does anybody really want to know what kind of soup it was?
Yes, we want to know details. It's important.
My children to this day still remember it. My wife, who was sick as a dog, came down screaming at me. What the fuck did you do to them? I said, all right, honey, I made a bowl of soup and thickened it up. I'm hearing ew in my ears. Holy heck.
Yeah, and
What
that's
kind of
against your
soup was it?
competition, so
What kind
it's
of
not a
soup
good
was
sign.
it? Chicken? Was it mushroom?
Okay, so needless to say, I personally thought it was okay, except for when I opened one of the 2 cans, it hissed at me. I still used it. Bad move.
Bubble? It had a bubble in the can, right? You can't do that. Did you go to Aldi's?
Oh, back then, for me,
Yeah, what kind of soup was it?
what kind of soup? Honestly, I really don't remember.
That's
You're
the worst
talking-
part
this
of
is
it. He
over-
doesn't remember what kind of fucking soup it
Over
was.
20 years ago. But what it came down to,
We have
I
the audience
personally,
is saying his wife is
I
saying it's
personally
vegetable.
think the kids were upset because it was just a bad can of soup. She's back there laughing. But as for what kind of soup, I really don't know. But I was just
Your wife says it was vegetable.
All right.
Is that what it was?
That's time.
Vegetable?
That's time. I think we probably have a unanimous decision, but let me start with Brian. Brian, whose meal was the worst?
I'm leaning towards botulism. What was it? I'm leaning towards the vegetable farina medley.
Leaning
That's what
towards
I'm
botulism. That's a new punk band name. Beth. God damn it. All right, Sanders. I'm going to have to... Yeah. All right. Turn down the shirt. Second place. Go.
Is he
Who's got
withdrawing?
second?
Did he just...
No burger?
Burger. I'm with
There you go! Chris Babcock, Dinner with the Schmucks podcast. There goes another note card. Here's the sustainability. Whoa. Well, like Letterman. That means we're rolled. All right. Oh, let's see. Where the hell are we at in the program? Oh, I know who we're at. We're at one of my favorite cooks, chefs, who recently I had the joy of saving a deer from the middle of the road. And he just happens to be over here. No shit, listen to this. I'm driving along. I had just interviewed this guy. And here's this deer laying in the road on its side, like doing the herky jerk. I'm like, shit, it's on its side, it's alive, we gotta move it. So I'm the bleeding heart that gets out and tries to help it. 2 seconds later, another car pulls up and it's our next guest. So we'll tell a condensed story of the deer story, but more importantly, he is the chef at the Inn at Turkey Hill, and truly one of the best dining experiences locally you can have. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Jim Hahn. And he got the funk. He got the funk. You're over there like, I want to play something funky, Alan. Very well done. So, Jim, how you been, buddy? You sitting on the wireless mic, buddy? There you go.
Doing well.
Helps if you don't put your ass on it. That's advice you can use in other areas, kids. So, thank you. Thank you for that laugh. So, for those of you unaware, outside of the brief intro I just gave him, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
My name's Jim. I've worked at the Inn at Turkey Hill for almost 24 years now. I cook, and that venison was really tender.
You killed it?
No.
All right, good. I was going to say, I saw it run away. I felt pretty good about that, but that venison was tender. You're a jerk. So, what can people here in the area or from out of the area who are looking to have a wonderful meal expect when they come to the Inn at Turkey Hill?
I don't know. Well, I mean, we kind of switch it up quite a bit, as much as we can. Just a fine dining experience, and also it can be casual. We're trying to switch it up with some small plates and tapas and kind of place where you can just come in, get a few small plates, a couple glasses of wine, and it's all good, great quality. You know, we use as much local food as we can. We have a field right out back that we get our produce from during the summer. It's a nice little place.
Talk to me about how convenient that is for you to have. Now, that's Farmer Moofy, correct? That's his name?
Farmer Moofy.
So those of you in the area have probably at least heard of, if not seen, Farmer Moofy. But for those not familiar, who is Moofy?
His name's Brian Crawford, actually. Everybody just calls him Farmer Moofy. He set up a couple years ago in the parking lot at the pub with his produce stand. And just recently, the year before last, bought the field adjacent to the brew pub parking lot. And it's been growing our produce for us. So, you know, we meet with him a couple times a week. And he gets what we need all the time.
For sure. So I'm hogging a lot of the mic. Any questions for Jim?
Yeah.
What food trends are there any trends that you are turned off by?
Turned off by? I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty open-minded. I'm not really turned off by much. The whole cookie cutter places kind of set the trends, I guess, for a lot of people, especially in this area, and that's kind of disappointing to me. But the people that come to the inn and come to the pub seem to be pretty open-minded as well with everything that we've ever tried to do.
Because there's not a lot of stuff that you do there at Turkey Hill that's cookie cutter at all. There's a smoked trout. What was the smoked trout dish?
We have a smoked salmon. We do
smoked salmon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do smoked salmon. We smoke our own salmon. We use cherry wood smoked salmon, and we use Steve Kurian's whole salmon fillets when we do it. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I have a question for you. What is the food, the guilty pleasure snack food that you're embarrassed to admit you like?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch.
What's the guilty pleasure snack food you're embarrassed to admit you like? Do you eat squeezed cheese out of a bottle? Do you...
Tacos. Taco truck tacos.
Oh, that's not bad. Do you eat Doritos? What is it that you're like, oh, as a chef, I should not admit that I like this?
Right, yeah.
That's not even that bad, though.
No, that's not bad. I feel like that's just human.
I'll admit something here and now.
All right, let's hear it.
I cooked till like 2 in the morning last night for you and Michael's.
You're so sweet.
kid, and I was braising brisket. So I took an 11-pound brisket, broke it down into 2 4-pound sections, braised it, whatever. During that course of time, I ate an entire bag of barbecue pork rinds.
Oh, that's delicious. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's keto friendly. There's no carbs. No carbs.
I've never had a pork rind in my life. Seriously.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
What's
I know.
food porn to you?
Lots of pork
What
belly.
makes you food porny?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What makes you porny?
Oh, yeah. Things like beef cheeks and like lamb shanks and braised dishes where it turns into like meat butter.
So slow cooking.
Yeah.
You like that?
Okay.
Slow,
Yeah. I
gentle.
really enjoy slow cooking. Yeah.
I love it with a slow hand. Sounds good. I love beef cheeks. Beef cheeks are not a common item to find anywhere. Like, you have to have a butcher or know a butcher. I can't find them in my supermarket. I can't
I
get
think
them
the
in my
word
market.
cheeks is what scares people.
Yeah.
Cheeks.
Yeah, but they can sell pork butt. Why can't they sell beef cheeks?
But you're right. You're right. It's a good point.
You got pork butt, beef cheeks should be easier, I imagine.
So let me ask you a question, just because, I know you've gotten familiar with your style and everything like that. Where is it that you pull from? Because your menus are changing. Where do you go to? Where do you reach out to figure out new ideas, new concepts?
Actually, like older cookbooks. Cookbooks from the 70s and 80s and 60s, like a lot of those things can be, you can play with them and make new things. And I like using classic dishes and just putting a little bit of a modern twist on them.
You're not putting sliced cocktail weenies in Nutella mold, are you?
No.
That'd be awesome.
Do you have any chef idols, culinary idols, like who inspired you?
Charlie Trotter. I really like Charlie Trotter. He's no longer with us as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. I really didn't have a lot of. Growing up, it was more just reading random cookbooks.
What lured you into the business?
I'm sorry?
What lured you into the business?
Just having to cook for myself when I was younger. Teaching myself how to do things, making things taste good, cooking for friends, realizing I could do it, and then working in restaurants and learning things from everybody I ever worked with.
I've got.
It'll be 24 years this year. Yeah.
I've got
long
one other
time.
question.
Yeah. It's a great place.
I do have another question.
Questions for Jim here from Turkey Hill?
Oh, jeez.
We got question action going before. Let's see it going again.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Kurian. Buck up. Come on, Kurian. I didn't wear my G-string.
Thank you. Sydney, shake him down.
We go to Turkey Hill quite often.
Yeah.
I bring my grandson there, who is a pizza extraordinaire, whatever the heck he is. Loves his pizza. You guys need pepperoni.
They use Scrapple.
I don't think that's a question so much as a demand. I think that was a request.
I'll see what I can do.
Chef artist.
Describe a meal that you would cook for the most beloved people in your life.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
That's a great question.
Well,
Shut up, Steve.
I mean, I'm going to go back to something, slow braise, something that's going to take a long time to cook. Not maybe something as easy as a pot roast or something, but I always go to beef cheeks because it's something that not a lot of people have had, but it's so amazing when it's cooked properly and cooked slowly and cooked the right way. Just melts in your mouth kind of stuff. It's amazing. Yeah.
Great question.
Are you paying a fucking attention the one time I cooked for him? So you're doing well. Keep up with that. That's well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Great.
All right, man. Well, hey, for anybody in the area looking for an incredible fine dining experience, be sure to check out the Inn at Turkey Hill, just off of Route 80, along 487, and it is beautiful. It is amazing. And Chef Jim Hahn, you made it happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chef Jim Hahn. My mom was just calling me. Should I answer?
Yeah, answer Mom.
Hey, keep ripping out. We're going to do this.
Get Mom in on the action.
Speaker, though. You have to answer on speakerphone.
Put her on FaceTime.
Come down a little bit. Here we go.
All right, we're calling his mom.
What are you doing? You're talking to an entire bar, Dad.
Hey, Dad!
I love you, Dad. We're drinking beer in your honor. That's your fellow man, guys. Everybody say, thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, Pat, love you. Bye-bye. So Memorial Day is coming, and my dad's a Navy vet, so there you go.
Hey, Dad.
Nick Primo, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of vets, who saved me, this is a true story. Nick Primo, this gentleman who's much larger than I over here, I was bench pressing at the gym, which I have no business doing because I'm a fucking waste. But anyway, I put a little too much weight on it. I dropped to my chest. I'm pinned under this bar. This is how I meet the guy. This is exactly what I hear. I want you to know, as life is fading from me, I hear, yo man, you need help? And up the bar came, and there he is. So, Nick Primo, speaking of veterans.
Hey.
All veterans, thank you so much again for doing what you do. It is much appreciated. How do we put on the guest? Yeah. You want to bring him on?
Bring him out. Bring him out.
Oh, who do we want to bring on? Shit. Hey, speaking of new ventures, speaking of new venues, speaking of green food trucks, let me tell you about a guy I just had on the show recently who really kind of put the food scene into perspective for me. And his new joint down Route 11, aptly named Route 11, I see what you did there, is spectacular for the area. If you haven't been there, go. It's right next to Blue and Brews, so please mask your visit for rampant alcoholism with some good food. Just go next door, it'll be fine. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Jones!
Yeah! Mike Jones.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Mike Jones. Mike Jones? I don't know. They have them. We got 2 hours. Lights. There we go. Got one here. Oh. Come closer. All right. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. All right. Here's your mic. All right. So.
Okay.
Mike Jones, Route 11. For those in the room who haven't heard the podcast, who don't know who you are and what you do, tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I opened up a food truck a couple of years ago, and we were originally just looking to build a kitchen to supply the food truck, and then we thought, why not have a restaurant with it? So that's how Route 11 came about. We try to source as much as we can from local farms, support the local economy, and
You had a food truck?
I do.
You do.
It's true.
What kind of food do you serve on your food truck?
What's that?
What kind of food is it?
Well,
Tell me about your
it
food truck.
changes based on venue. So every different place we're at, I build the menu to that. So tomorrow morning we're going to be at a farmer's market. It ends at noon, so it's mostly brunch. You know.
Does your menu,
Tomorrow's Sperry Street Farmer's Market
so
in
your
Danville.
menu changes all the time depending on where you are and what's available?
Every single day.
Okay.
It's something different. Yeah. So it's been a little bit easier to manage now that we have a restaurant. We can kind of swap things in and out, but yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
What's the biggest asset to running a food truck, and what's the biggest challenge of having a food truck?
Well, it's probably the same thing. It's on wheels, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a 95 Chevy. So that has its own complications, but it is nice because you can go where the people are.
Right.
You know, when it's a rainy day, it might not be 30 miles over. So
Right.
you can go to the street fairs where you know you're going to have
Yeah.
a couple thousand people going by versus, you know, like a little side street or something where you might be set up all the time where you don't.
Is the limited space of limited workspace often frustrating, or something you're completely? I mean, it forces you to be very efficient, really.
It does. It forces you to be clean and very efficient. The problems with it is up until this year, we didn't have a prep kitchen.
Wow.
So we did everything from the truck. So we had to go to places, 2-3 times a week
Wow.
to restock so that we could go to the next event.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the restaurant came about. But
That's kinda how
yeah,
it is, Shawn.
it was kind of a pain when
Same,
we did
same,
it that
different.
way.
I know how that goes.
Same, different.
Hey, come be a guest chef. Hey, here's a space and a walk-in on cases of beer. Make 80 banh mi's.
Go ahead. Ready, go.
Ready, go. And we did it.
How much did you have to consider the space in creating your menu? Because I mean, without a prep kitchen, at least initially.
What do you mean with the food truck or the restaurant?
Yeah, at the food truck.
I didn't really think about it until we get all the stuff in, and then I think, how am I going to fit all of this into, a two-door fridge that's, on the truck and the freezer that I have. But we made it work, and, we went 2 years doing that.
Do you think the food truck made you better at running a restaurant? And how? Or if it did? It did it or no?
Well, the nicest thing about a food truck is you're able to test things. So you go to a place. If something new, I had an idea for like a Bloody Mary burger. It didn't go over well, but I thought it was a great idea.
What kind of burger?
A Bloody Mary
burger.
burger.
That sounds amazing.
Nobody wanted it. They wanted other burgers, So, well, I mean, the people that did get it loved it. But, the whole thing is, like, sometimes it just doesn't work. And the food truck's a great way to test it out and see, because you don't have to take on that much. It's a menu that gets erased at the end of the day, and you try something new the next day.
If you're at a party, what do people have the most questions about, the restaurant or the food truck?
Now it's the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody's asking about that and how it's going, or, how they're loving it. So the food truck, I mean, people are still asking where it's going to be next, so that's good.
I feel like if someone who doesn't know you, I feel like the food truck is so fascinating because so few people have run one.
If someone asked you, hey, I want to have a food truck.
Yeah.
And what would you tell them? Like, how does someone
Well,
start a
if
food
someone
truck
just wanted to
business?
have a food truck,
Like,
I
I
mean,
want a food truck. I want to sell tacos at my food truck.
yeah, well, that's cool. I guess the big thing would be like, can you handle the stresses of a restaurant? And then can you handle the stresses of a restaurant on wheels that may be older than some of the people that want to do this?
I mean, what do you find was the biggest challenge with your food truck?
With the truck?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not great with emails. So, there's a lot of coordination that you have to do to keep up with everybody, and to, a lot of permits and things like that you have to set up. When you have a restaurant in the same place,
right,
you do that all once, and then maybe you have to refile something every year, but that's about it. With a food truck, it's all the complications of a restaurant, and then every time you're at a new location, it's new, claims on your insurance policies, and it just all these things that
So
you
do you
have
think
to be
the
ahead
food
of.
truck is more difficult than a restaurant?
I actually do, and like everyone markets that as like, oh, it's a great way to start up. Like when you have never really done a real restaurant or something before, it's cheaper, and it's not necessarily. And also, it's again, if you don't know, I'm not much of a mechanic. I could work on a lawnmower or something. I grew up on a farm, but it doesn't mean But I've learned a lot about working on a Chevy, 350, which is great because. That's not what's in my car, but you kind of it's fun, and that's kind of that's the joy of it.
Yeah. Thank you. I just think that people think that maybe food truck is a gateway to a restaurant, or a restaurant's a gateway to a food truck. What do you think?
I think it could go any way. I mean, I had a little cafe in town. That was my first baby, but. I built it, but I never owned it. I built it with the company that I had worked with before. So, at a certain point, I couldn't own it, and I needed to own it. So that's how the food truck came about. And I realized I just need a kitchen to work out of. And then we ended up doing this restaurant, and I kind of.
That's great.
It's like my third kid. Yeah, and
That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So what's the next 5 years, my friends? What happens to Route 11? From food truck to brick and mortar to what?
Maybe another brick and mortar. I'm already like our kitchens. I was conservative, and I used my food truck knowledge of space efficiency. It's the tiny house of kitchens. Our entire space is 850 square feet. We've got 36 seats, and that doesn't leave a lot of space for kitchen. And I need more kitchen, but I'm not going to forget about that. But yeah, I'd like to find a place that gave me more kitchen, because that just gives me more possibilities.
Yeah, but it works.
So.
You make it look good. You make a product that comes out amazing. And again, I feel so like advantaged compared to my co-host here, because I know where it is. I can go. It's amazing. Trust me. Down to Route 11. You want to be sure to check it out. So, man, again.
Tomorrow you'll be there? Yeah. What time tomorrow? You said you'll be there tomorrow?
Yeah. So I'm out with the food truck until noon, but the restaurant's open from 8 to 5.
And where are you going to be? Where's the food truck?
The food truck will be in Danville, at the Ferry Street Farmers Market.
How far is that from here?
10 miles.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. We're having a sleepover party tonight.
Come on by. We
want to go everywhere. We want to go to Turkey Hill tonight after here.
All right, fire up the truck, the
Yeah,
van.
fire up the truck.
It's an awesome little
We wanna go
farmers
everywhere.
market. They actually, there's lots of stuff that they have for sale
love to go to
there.
farmers market.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure.
And be sure to check it out tomorrow at the Ferry Street Farmers Market. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Shawn from Route 11.
All right.
We're going to take a little break. All right.
Baby, keep thinking I cannot see you. Crying for days at a time. Oh, baby, you're so blue. And maybe it's untrue. Oh, and girl, when it's you be smiling for a mile. Falsify your place, your time, just to get through all these fears. But if I should take the time, we could let go of past fears all those years ago. Now the day breaks, and each turn that your mind takes leads you further from mistakes that you make all the time. Now I picture you slow dancing in your room, baby shaking to go through happy times for a while, yeah. Falsify your place and time, just to get through all these fears. But if I should take the time, we could let go of past fears all those years ago. Sometimes life just slips away. Sometimes 1 minute is a minute too late. The only thing I truly fear is when I get to where you are. Baby, you'll be here. And I know that it's not right, but I'm sure it won't be in due time. What will you decide? To move forward or be left behind? But in time, you change your mind. Oh, check your pace. Yeah, you're a mess. You're all over the place. Living life is no long affair. By the time you blink, you're about halfway there. Won't you see it in my eyes? I'm not trying to bore you or criticize, and I know that it's not right, but I'm sure we will be in due time. Yeah? What will you decide? To move forward or be left behind, yeah. But in time, oh, you change your mind. Oh, check your pace. Yeah, you're a mess, you're all over the place. Yeah, you're a mess, you're all over the place. Yeah, you're a mess, you're all over the place. Yes, you're a mess, you're all over the place. Yeah. Thank you. I'll play one more. It's the first track off of the CD that we just released yesterday. It's called Front Row Seat Blues. It's all over for you, babe. Over for you and me. Cut the cord to fake romancing. Why are you trying to help the blind to see when you can't even see? Tired of your letdowns. All that me. If you could do me a favor, turn your pretty face and leave. Before I say something I really mean. You beg a homeless person for some food to eat. Go home to your mansion. Laugh and be carefree. Put up your feet. You said that you were kidding. You offered a helping hand to me. Laughed when I was drowning. Pulled up a front row seat. Oh, did your best to keep your nails clean. Well, I'm on my own now. Don't need any pity or sympathy. The next one that has to worry while I'm whistling Dixie, running fancy free. While I'm whistling Dixie, running fancy free. I wait for you by the corner store, but you say you don't need your drugs no more. Pull back your hair and you push out your lips and say, if you need some drugs, why don't you take some of this? She's my wonderful darling, my pill popping sugar mama. Hey. Lift out your hand and I'll take you away. She said, well, hey, man, oh, this won't be so complicated. And I never understand She's a 1 in 100, 10 in a handful, mama. You know what I mean? She grabs life with both of her hands, talks real tall, oh, takes command of a station, not to mention well read. She's a cry when she's uptown, laugh when she's downtown, mama. You say you quit, yeah, but you quit when you're there. Well, maybe I got something else instead, yeah. Like a stone off your crown, yeah. She said, yeah, you know how it is, baby. Talking about shaky ground, yeah, all right. You say you quit, yeah, but you quit when you're dead. Well, maybe I've got something else instead, yeah. Like a stone off your crown. She said, you know how it is. Talking about shaky ground. She said, you know how it is, baby. Talking about shaky ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Cole. Everyone having a good time? God damn, why don't you fall asleep on me? Everyone having a good time? There we go. Say, who wants to win another podcast shirt? 3 people on stage who are unrelated. Go! Wow, don't everybody run at once. 3 people to the stage who want to win a shirt. Let's go. Who weren't up before, that would help. Now, Pete, you were up before. Stop it. You're walking. Why are you walking slowly? Now I'm going to make an example of you. Hello. It's me. There's 1. There's 2. Yes, there's 3. Sit down, Pete. I'm coming up with this question. All right. Let me find what I'm looking for. Hey, I want to come up with the question. Come on, I want the question. Mike and I got a great question. You're on my wire, lady. Thank you. You do. What's the question?
What's the question? Tell us what's the question.
All right. New. There's the short
Oh, that's
form of that
great.
question.
Oh, I love this. Thank
All right.
you.
Okay, there we go. We're live. Here we go. Hold on to that.
personally like
Whoever else is playing, hop on up. I need one more. Not you. Not you. Go on. Get up there, man. You're a...
Get up there.
No.
Come
I
on.
have...
Go. Get
Go
up
on
there.
up. I got
Let's
the
go.
question.
Come on. Up.
Go on up. Oh.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Take a
Sit
seat.
down.
There we go. All right, hop up on stage. If you're number 3, go on. Why are we all here? All right. This little game is called Hypothetical Iron Chef. If you're ready, there's going to be 4 ingredients named. From those ingredients, you need to create the most impressive dish to all of us. The ingredients are, can I get a drum roll, please? Can I get a goddamn drum roll, somebody? There we go. You can count on Alan. All right. Heirloom tomato, breakfast cereal, duck breast, and blood orange. You have 30 seconds. Alan, can you play something to fill the space?
Did you repeat the ingredients? Repeat the ingredients.
The ingredients are heirloom tomato, breakfast cereal, duck breast, and blood orange. What can you make with that? Blood orange. You're chomping at the... Any kind of breakfast cereal. That's the wild card there. Whatever you want to use. It's there. 10 seconds. All right, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start. I'd say coin flip, but whatever. Yaj, you got the mic. Hit it. What do you got? Yeah. Is that not like I short form? What's the best nickname? Ow, I'm dyslexic apparently. Never mind. Jahida, my apologies. Go on. I'm listening. Go. Fuck you, Babcock. No, we can't edit it out. We're keeping that shit in. All right, go ahead. Heirloom tomato. Breakfast cereal. Duck breast. Blood orange. Just those 4. You just bought yourself more time. Well done. You're going to be great in a hostage situation.
She said, bitch. We have to drink now. Yeah. We have to drink. She said, bitch.
Oh, hey, look. Yes, the breakfast cereal is the wild card. Go ahead.
The breakfast cereal, I use cornflakes. I would crush them. I would put them on the duck breast, so like it would be like, I don't know.
Okay. I like the technique.
I would like pan fry it.
Okay.
I would put sliced early tomatoes on top, and then I would use the blood orange like a marmalade.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm not that great at cooking, but I have an imagination. So would that work?
That's good.
I like that.
All right. There. Locking it in. There you go.
Okay.
Well played. All right. Over to you. Heirloom tomato, breakfast cereal, duck breast, blood orange, and go. No? I almost want to give it to him just because he's like, yeah, no.
I might give it to him just because.
Tandoori chicken.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Tandoori chicken is the whole one.
All right. Nice. All right. Here we go. Over to the judges. Judges, who do we have? Heirloom breakfast cereal, duck breast, blood orange, and go. Number 1 or number 2? Brian Balthazar.
All right, I have to say, because of the detail of which you describe your preparation, I'm going with number 1.
There we go. How about you, Beth?
I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the marmalade aspect of
I loved
the
it.
dish. And
Thought it was smart.
that sent it over the top for me.
Yeah.
And chicken, tandoori chickens, not duck. What the duck?
I love
Sorry.
tandoori.
What the duck?
There you go.
chicken.
And I'm going to go. So.
Duck. It's all about the duck. What the duck?
Yeah. And
There you go.
change it
Jahira,
too.
congratulations. Yeah. Be sure to check out Gret for the shirt. There you go, man. Watch your step. There you go.
No, he won't.
There you go, buddy. Watch your steps down that side, bud. What? Yeah, there's going to be a shirt. Hey, Greta, could you hook up with Jahira? I know, I get it. Now I'm just being an asshole about it, Chris. Thank you. All right.
What about grits?
Grits? What about grits? That's a controversial
That's a whole
topic.
podcast episode right there.
about-
the
what
What
about
About
the
Grits
grits, Mel?
episode. Kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits,
Yeah.
Mel.
Did you say kiss on grits or kiss my grits?
Kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits,
Flo
Mel.
from
Kiss
Alice.
them. Kiss. But now we can say piss my piss my grits, bitch.
Piss My Grits is the adult movie. That's the Cinemax version.
Over here. I know, I'm really trying. I'm trying hard on your name. Not really. I said hard on.
Ah.
It's that time of the night, kids. Time for shitty humor. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know. What do we want to do next? Oh, I've been trying to hit that bottle. Like, there's my goddamn smelling bee. That's what I was looking for. I know, it's amazing. It's just perfect to grab one. So, hey kids, who's up for another guest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Is that my beer right there?
Yeah. Would you like it, Shawn? Here. Would you like this one? Or?
Yeah. So, our next guest
Here,
this
sweetheart.
evening, I'm going to have to scooch down.
Honey,
because I probably
darling.
have to use up plural for it.
Shawn.
Oh, God, I love you. Don't change. All evening it's been one, but here we have two. And actually, now that I think about it, they were my first ever two-guest interview. And what's been awesome about watching their rise to stardom here in the area is it's really kind of encompassed the restaurant's voyage. From the beginnings to buying the building which they're in now, which if anybody's in the restaurant industry, you know that's a big deal, like to have that. So it's been really awesome. And they really, if you want to talk about being true to their craft, these two literally live it, breathe it, bleed it, and so on. So without further ado, let me bring up to the stage from the Blind Pig Kitchen here in Bloomsburg, Toby and Sarah Walzer and Toby Diltz. That's what happens when you have two people up here. They have to shake as many hands. Twice as many hands, rather. I don't know. You're sitting on your phone, Beth. Stop it.
There it is.
Bad form.
Hello. Hi. I kid.
So, welcome to the stage, guys. This is nice because normally I see you over on Iron Street in your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful restaurant. I love the place so dearly. And anybody here in Bloomsburg love the Blind Pig like I do? You lie! You don't love them like I do. I love them more. So grab on! You're full Farina! Yeah, Farina. That's really good. You know, I have to say, like, doing the episode was fun, but the point in time where it really became obvious to me how much I love you guys as restaurateurs in the area was one night, Greta and I went out, Son's kids. You know, we kept them home. You know, we just gave them liquor and Benadryl and put them to sleep. It was fine. They didn't wake up. No one is alarmed by that. Jesus. Really?
No, everybody does it, Shawn.
All right. So anyway, so we go down, and I'll never forget. We're sitting there, and we order what we're ordering, and every time I go in there, it's this battle of, do I want
want the kids to go to college, or do I want the cheese plate, the charcuterie plate? And, like, do I want it all? And I want it all. But there's no question there. And it was at about that point, I see this tall, bulking figure stroll slowly in the dining room, hand me a small plate, and give me head cheese. And I'll never forget, Toby, you said to me, and I paraphrase, I don't quote because I can't. You slaughtered this pig yesterday. He was very special to me when we made this out of him. And there was a plate in front of me. I'm like, my God, if this tastes like my foot, I'm going to smile and stuff that shit down harder than anybody. But, as is everything of Blind Pig, it was amazing. It was astounding. So, that's my fanboy gushing. I've never gotten to do that in person. I feel good, finally being able to...
You had to get that out.
So, yeah, with all that said, for folks who are new to the Blind Pig, to Sarah and Toby, give us the Cliff Notes version of who you are and what you do. That's you. Toby's real quick. That's you.
I'll take a harder question.
Get on that landline.
Who we are? Well, we met on Farmers Only 6.5 years ago. Okay. I'm from California. Toby's from Mifflinville, Pennsylvania. We met on farmersonly.com almost a half years ago.
That's free advertising right there for farmersonly.com.
Woo! Farmers Only! I gave up my life in the art world, moved to rural Pennsylvania for love, and decided to start cooking and start a farm with Toby. And we opened a restaurant 4 years ago, bought our building a month and a half ago, and that's where we are. We do farm to table.
Yeah.
100.
And that's not a small deal. Talk to me about.
Drop the money.
Keep putting
Bring
those
more
dollar
money.
bills in that pot. Dollar bills in the pot, guys. Kurians, open your fucking wallet.
Anyway, back to the question. Okay. What do you got?
I want to know how you came up. First of all, I'm not single or a farmer, but I want to go on farmersonly.com.
Yeah.
Because it
Do
sounds
it.
so
Tell us
interesting.
more about farmers.com.
How did you come up? Well, go ahead. What were you going to say?
We're actually both weren't farmers. We were the other nature lovers.
Looking for
so
farmers.
all of you nature lovers.
Wow.
Yeah, Jen.
making it
Thank
rain.
you.
I feel like that's the cooking equivalent of making it rain.
Do you guys do group nature walks? Can we do like a
Nature Lovers
Group-
is an
group
option on the
nature-loving?
website.
Yeah, if you're a non-farmer.
Okay. So
Cool.
now, how did you come up with the Blind Pig? How did the name of the restaurant come about?
It's actually from a former business that I had. It was kind of a pub up in Eaglesmere near here, which is a historic town.
Yeah.
I was rebranding the pub and going for a speakeasy feel.
Yeah.
It turns out the Blind Pig was another way to refer to a speakeasy, like the cops can't see it.
Oh,
I like
and
that.
we wanted to.
I like that.
All you police officers out there, open your wallets and put your bills in the pot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's right.
And
Yeah.
what is your favorite dish on your own menu? Each of you must have one favorite dish on your own menu.
Current menu?
Your current menu. Well, yeah. Do you not have your
It's always,
favorite?
always the .com feed for me. Always.
Always.
Wait.
But is there something that's not on your menu that's your favorite right now? What's that?
I mean, our menu changes frequently. I have to say I love our caprese salad because when tomatoes are in season,
Yeah.
you can't beat fresh tomatoes and basil
Right.
and fresh cheese. Nothing is better than
Right.
that. So,
And that's the thing, when you go here, you taste the soil it was grown in. There's legitimately a connection to
Wow.
what we eat.
Toby has more. What?
I have one more to add, which is a recent addition to our menu, the salmon tartare from Wild for Salmon.
Nice shout out.
Get it?
Nice.
Okay, now I have another question. I have one more question because, some people are pro cilantro and some people are absolutely not cilantro. Are you pro? I'm pro cilantro. Toby?
We love.
totally pro, but if you want something without cilantro, just let us know beforehand. We can totally accommodate your needs.
If
Toby?
you want cilantro or you don't want cilantro, you're safe with the blind pig.
Who cooks at home? Who cooks at home?
Both of us. Yeah.
That's how we know you're
That's
going to make
nice.
it.
Yeah. That's
So
excellent.
just go on record as saying, my feelings are slightly hurt that you didn't bring up the beef bulgogi that you make. And it is my favorite. Like, literally my favorite. I've had bulgogi elsewhere in more what would be considered to be more ethnically original. They got shit on you. They got nothing.
Ooh.
It's because I'm from LA and surrounded by Asians. That bulgogi sauce just runs through my veins.
Oh my God. It was stellar.
We're butchering another cow in a week and a half, so it'll be back on the menu.
Nice. About a week and a half, you're gonna see Rosler's on reservations. How many nights in a fucking row? What happened there?
Are you involved in the farmer's market at all?
Sarah works at a farmer's market, a local farm, Forks Farm. We also have a farm, so we're kind of involved in that with a lot of our time.
Gotcha.
So now you have a farm in addition? Oh, my God.
Well, so you can meet on Farmers Only and go on there, but eventually you have to become a farmer. So like
That's
if you're
part
not,
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Your inspections are like, are you a farmer? No.
Yeah.
You cannot be married.
I would like to just date a farmer. I'm interested in dating a farmer. That's why I'm on farmers.
But yeah, it's funny you bring up Forks Farm because, like, there's yet another venue. This area is so rich in farm culture, but more so farm-to-table culture. And I know that term has wrote its limit out. I understand that. But if you'll humor me, you two and Time Locked In and all them embody farm-to-table. Like, there's farm-to-table that's cute to say, and there's farm-to-table that you freaking live, and you guys live it. What's been the most rewarding thing about seeing farm-to-table become a little bit more the expectation from people?
I think the food has gotten better at restaurants because of it. Although I would say there's just as many places that buy a case of cabbage, say they support local, and the food is still shitty. So, it makes you want to try a place, and we'll see. We've tried different restaurants, tried more restaurants. More restaurants are trying at least a little bit. And anything they do to support a local farm, $10 in the pocket of a local farmer that helps them buy their, whether it's organic fertilizer, pesticide, food, whatever, as opposed to chemical stuff, that's going to keep that land in farms instead of developments or factories or whatever. We're not gaining farmland as life goes on. It's only going away faster and faster and faster.
That's
So,
an important point right there. It is. It's going away, and unless we supply the funds, the fuel to it to continue, we're undoing ourselves. So, get out there. Eat. Again, it feeds into the local food culture, whether it's the Study Bar, whether it's Blind Pig, that kind of thing. Like, we're all buying local, or at least we're trying to keep on that, because the more you do it, the more it's going to be easier for folks to be able to do that. So eat local, please. I mean, for the love of God.
Does your farm? What do you farm, and does that that supply then go to the restaurant, or do you sell that independent of the restaurant?
we grow about 500 to 700 chickens a year, and that's all for the restaurant. So we don't buy chicken for the restaurant from anyone else.
Right.
We grow about 6 pigs, but we butcher 22 or 24 pigs a year, so we do buy those elsewhere. Eggs, we can't grow enough. You know, our chickens don't lay enough. I want to kill them. Sarah likes what they so.
And when Toby says...
coworkers like that. I want to kill you.
When Toby says elsewhere, we have a Mennonite farmer who grows our pigs for us. So we buy, I would say 95% of what's on our menu is all within 65 miles of the restaurant, minus white vinegar, olive oil, sugar, brown sugar. I mean, even our flour we get from Small Valley Milling and Ballaback. So our beef is 100% grass-fed from Forks Farm. Our pork is woodlot pork. Our chickens are from our farm. Everybody's raised outside. We're really proponents of being stewards to our animals and of the land. So it's the most important thing is to give nutrients to our plants, give the animals the space they need and the air they need to breathe, and that's Like that's our biggest thing. Is
How
to
far,
take care
how
of
far
them.
in advance do you need to make a reservation at your restaurant? Because I'd like to make one
You-
tonight.
It's a restaurant business. Who fucking knows? You can call
Thomas Keller knows.
You can call us 2 hours ahead and get a table on a Saturday night, or you could
just
not
show
be
up.
able- Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't. We can't. We have no rule.
It sounds great. I really would love to come.
It's worth a try. Don't not call
I'll
because you're
absolutely try.
worried.
I will definitely try.
Yeah. Now you
Oh,
have
yeah.
two businesses. One that seems like you have to get up at the crack of dawn, and the other one where you go to bed after midnight. I mean, how does that work? I mean, is that?
There's this talk show asshole making you stay up later.
Yeah. Do you have kids too? Like, when do you
Kids
sleep?
doing the work.
When do you sleep? When do you sleep?
We're always just wishing for more hours in the day and more sleep, but we just don't sleep. You know, I get up earlier than Sarah, and Sarah comes home later than I do. You know,
Got it.
And we just do our parts to help each other out. You know,
that's amazing.
It's tough.
Sounds
There
great.
it is. So, ladies
Sounds
and
excellent.
gentlemen, if you get the chance, be sure to check out Forest Farm Market. Be sure to check out the Blind Pig Kitchen.
Sounds really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toby Diltz and Sarah Walzer. Alan, quick song before the last interview. You got a song in it? You look like you got a song in it. Thank you, Toby. Hit you with some song.
Yeah, baby.
Well, it's taking me over, this incredible feeling. When the record plays slower, I find a subconscious meaning. Now my mind is fetching all the words the song's mentioning. I hold on to them dearly. I know I shouldn't, boy. The music helps me get away. I tell myself that it's okay. Everybody's got that thing. You know they wanna give up. No more using sad songs as a crutch. No more help from that invisible touch. No more seeking that comfort in someone else's misery. No more using sad songs as a crutch. And now I think it's worth mentioning that the song's intention is not to make you feel blue. It's supposed to tell you what not to do. It can't help it hurt you, but the words won't desert you. Hold on to them dearly. I know I shouldn't, boy. The music helps me get away. I tell myself that it's okay. Everybody's got that thing. You know they wanna give up. Everybody's got that thing. You know they wanna give up. No more using sad songs as a crutch. No more help from that invincible touch. No more seeking that comfort in someone else's misery. No more using sad songs as a cry. Yeah.
This looks gross.
Yeah. Oh no more using. Yeah. No more using sad songs as a crunchy. Like I said before, guys, shameless self-promotion. My EP just came out with a band, Soul Medicine. Check it out on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you can get your digital music. I also have physical copies with me, too. If you want to buy a CD, just come and talk to me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having a good time with us tonight.
Beth, Brian, how's it been so far? Good time?
Yeah, having a great time.
Excellent.
Gonna have a funky good time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all zeros. It's fine. It'll work. God, I was fucking hoping you would do that. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this evening, and I certainly hope you have, and I hope you've enjoyed being part of a solid cause, I'd like to bring one more guest to the stage, and he is part, anyway, of the reason that we're all here tonight. How many of you like the Study Bar? How many of you love the Study Bar? How many of you know the Study Bar has an updated menu that you should be ordering nonstop? Do you know that tonight, since they opened the kitchen, this has been the heaviest food night since, correct? All right, so we're
Yeah!
Nicole!
Whoa! Yeah, Nicole! Thank you, Nicole!
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Nicole.
So, but Nicole reports up to somebody who we're going to bring on stage. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Study Bar Justin Hummel!
Hello.
That's right. And we're down.
I got some shit to
So,
say.
before further ado, sir, cheers to you. Thank you. This place is amazing. Those of you who partied back in the day at Harry's, and then Harry's too, like, this is literally what it should be when we're this age. So, well done.
I'm glad you feel that way.
So, but again, for those unaware of who you are and what you do, Justin Hummel, you're another one actually, who I think I need to have you on the show formally, but tell everybody about who you are and what you do.
I'm a local yokel, and I was lucky enough to come into Harry's as a family business back in 2002. And we grew it to be a really fun place. You had a lot of fun there. We had a lot of fun there. And it's nice to be back in town. It's nice to be supporting all the local businesses again. It's a wonderful community here to be involved in.
And that's part of how we came together on this, because I was ramping up around my grid and I'm thinking, oh, I'll go do it in BTE or some other stuffy environment. And my wife and I came in and I looked at it, and I looked at this space and I'm like, holy shit. And to your testament, and this is not, kissing your ass to the director, I'd say this no matter where we were, you kept Main Street alive. I mean, Bloomsburg, I think you are easily top 5, if not top 3 figures who have kept Main Street in Bloomsburg alive, so thank you. Justin Hummel for doing that. So how does a venue like this, though, serve to keep that alive? You said that you support it. How does that work? Like, this is, on paper, a bar. Let's be fair.
Yeah. We're at this point, I advertise ourselves as a music venue. I am very happy to have what I consider a quality menu, but this is not designed as a sit-down restaurant. We don't have sit-down tables right now. We have high tops and we have couches, and I don't anticipate a lot of people coming in, as I look at this as an accessory to date night. I want people to be going to the Blind Pig. I want people to be going to the Farmhouse, to Route 11, and I want them to be coming here too, with the sense of knowing that you're going to be able to get a really good small meal, and you're going to get a really fucking good show.
Yeah, there's no question. And if you've been here on nights where there's been music, specifically, hi Alan.
Yeah. Alan has been one of the local gems here that we've appreciated, coming in, playing a lot. He's been a big supporter of us. I appreciate that. And what's been nice is that there's been an outpouring of local support from the local guy who's a retired sound man who comes in and goes, hey man, you've got a fucking kick-ass system and you're using it all wrong. Let me help you reorganize this. And we were able to work out a good trade deal. And looking around, this room too, Wild for Salmon. Steve and I used to pole vault together back in high school. He was much better than I. I was mostly in it for the tan. He was in it for the state championship. But when he started Wild for Salmon, he was storing some of his product in my freezer. And was able to grow his business to what it is now. Mike Jones has been a staple in the local food community for a long time, and had worked at many places, and we were super happy when he was able to get involved in everything that he was involved in and what he's doing now. Jim Hahn, I had lots of friends that washed dishes for Jim Hahn in high school. And the other nice thing is that when I came back here after leasing this place out to an operator that really didn't take good care of the building, Jim Hahn came and helped clean our kitchen. There were 4 of us scrubbing every inch of the place.
It takes a village.
It's a very, very supportive community, I think, to be in this industry, in this town.
Food is a community. Food is something that requires all hands on deck, a tribe, not an individual. And I think there's going to be even more now with some local closings. There's going to be more to come. Trust me on that. I kind of have an inside track there. I'm not naming names, but I might be looking in the direction. But anyway, it's such a great thing to see everybody. Food is the one business where I think business is in general cutthroat. I think that's a fair statement. But when it comes to food, everyone's like, no, fuck, what do you need? Can I help you? Can I help you promote this? Can I help you do this? And that's where, honestly, if I'm looking at 99 that I just put out there, that, just an episode of my thoughts, one of the things was helping people promote what they're doing. And that's exactly what the show tries to do. And I think that's what you all do locally, man. Wild for Salmon, Route 11, Turkey Hill Brew Pub, Blind Pig Kitchen, Study Bar. You're all holding hands figuratively pulling each other along this train called I want to keep shit alive.
Well, I think it's trying to be part of a scene. And, we all serve a certain part. And we all try to specialize in a certain thing because we found a particular niche and we care about it intensely and focus on that. And when you do that, you don't feel threatened by what the other person's doing because, hey, you want to support that person that's kicking ass at their own little, vein of what's going on. You don't have to think about, oh, they're a threat to me because they're not. What we need is a lot of people coming to this area because this area has great things going on. And then, high tide raises all ships.
What did you, when you started this particular space, what did you hope for it to be? What was your vision for this place?
Initially, my brother and I bought this building about 9 years ago and renovated it. It was a WT Grants initially to start out with, which, again, you see on NPR sometimes they say, the WT Grant Foundation.
Got it.
So this was a department store, and we renovated it because it had good bones, and it didn't have any student apartments above it. We could be as loud as we fucking wanted here. Right. We could do whatever we wanted, and we weren't going to bother anybody, and we also weren't going to have a bunch of idiots upstairs burning toast and making me evacuate my fucking restaurant.
Right.
Which I was dealing with at the last place I was renting from. Well, I thought this was a Coarse Grind. So this was a really nice place, but it's big, and, we've had to adapt accordingly, and the business has changed over time. So when I moved the restaurant here, we operated for about a year and a half. It was a great year and a half, and then we had the opportunity to rent it out to another operator, which we took, and it was a very different concept. They did their own thing. They didn't really take care of the building. So it's nice to be back. It's nice to be what I feel and I'm trying to be as a community asset again. And, again, I'm not looking to compete. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, just giving me the space. I have to admit, 5 years in a podcast that really doesn't do much else than talk food. When you got someone like Justin Hummel, who and this is, full transparency here.
I might be responsible for a child of yours. One of your children might.
You might. That's entirely possible. Trust me. You're responsible for more. Trust me. But no, just being here with you, who truly has been a figure in the food community for so long, I feel a little bit starstruck. I'm not gonna lie. When you said yes to doing 100 here, I'm like, holy shit! And then you said, how about a Friday? I just about dropped my beer. I'm like, wow.
No, see, I feel like I have no hand in the food community whatsoever because in all of my growing up in this industry, the food was the area that I touched the least. I never worked behind the line.
And yet, by doing that, does he not touch it the most? By backing the fuck up and saying, here, you guys who know this better, and I know bosses who have done that, I know everything. I know how to do PR marketing, and they don't. And what happens? It goes down the shit tank.
Yeah.
So how many owners have
Oh my God. So many.
I don't know how to cook. I don't know a goddamn thing about other than washing dishes in the kitchen. And, I've always relied upon, hey, have better people. I'm happy, I've always been able to, what I think is surround myself with people that knew what they were doing in the kitchen for what we were trying to do. We were never trying to be like Sarah and Toby. I love what they're doing. I love that we're part of the cornucopia of what this area is offering because they're doing that so I don't have to. Mike's doing what he's doing so I don't have to. Exactly. And so is, Steve and Jen and everyone else. It's great to all work, be able to offer something as a landscape rather than, trying to cover all bases. Because, you just can't do it.
You can't do it all.
Yeah. You can't. So you can't do it all, but this guy does about as close to it as humanly possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, one last time, Mr. Justin Hummel at the Study Bar.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. Much appreciated. Thank you, Shawn.
Well, kids, there you go. 100 episodes.
Well, gang, by now, I'm sure you've realized there were some sound issues that night. But again, just such a great night. But I wanted to, in the post, record what I said leading out. So without further ado. So there you go. 100 episodes, a figurative century of content. We've learned, we've laughed, we've lost, we've cried. But all along the way, we have come together to celebrate the very substance we put in our bodies, and more importantly, the hearts, souls, and minds behind it all. And what's even better? Tonight, I hope you realize that some of these incredible artists are right here in your own backyard. Thanks to everyone for being here. Thank you, guests. Thank you, Beth and Brian, Matty James, Justin Hummel, the Study Bar, Alan, Sound Guy. Love you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being you and for being a part of it all. Without you, this show is truly nothing, and I'm grateful for every one of you. So where do we go from here then? 101, 150, 200, who's to say? I just want to keep bringing these stories to you all. So wherever it leads, I'll go along for the ride. But you can bet on that ride, I'll be the traveler, not the tourist. I learned that from somebody pretty important to me. I don't want to rule the culinary world, just my little part of it. Keep listening, stay hungry. Next stop, 200. Keep grinding. Good night.
Hey! Drop!